Welcome back, everyone, to Doomsday Clock. We're here with Doomsday Clock number 5.
It's been a while since we've made any videos on this, but we're here now, so...
Life happens. So, we kick off the issue with Ozymandias back in the hospital because he was almost assassinated last issue.
Yep, he fell through out of the window of Lex Luthor's building and luckily landed on an awning that probably just barely saved his life.
Yep.
But he's in a hospital, and these doctors are basically just talking about how he's really lucky to be alive right now. And it's, they walk out of the hospital, and then that's when it's revealed that he's actually awake right now.
Yep.
And, he just escapes from there because, it's Ozymandias. He doesn't want to be locked in one place. He's got stuff to do.
And we get some Daily Planet stuff with Lois and Mr. White, where she basically wrote an article and the title was changed.
Yeah, she in her article she talks about how some person tried to assassinate Lex Luthor, and the title Perry White changed it to include the word metahuman.
And they're not even sure if it's actually metahuman.
So she's really, really upset about that. She's saying you can't do this. We can't say for sure that he's a metahuman. And Perry White's like, well, he was wearing tights and a purple cape.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure we can say it. And then he's like, plus we need all the clicks and views we can.
Dude, fake news have invaded comic books. There's no escape at this point.
Yeah.
And we got Rorschach, another subplot, Rorschach and Saturn Girl. They're still trying to find Dr. Manhattan. And
yeah, this confused me a little bit because I don't know at what point he managed to meet up with Saturn Girl.
It might have been last issue. I just don't remember.
Last issue just ended with him escaping. So I'm guessing this is just he just ran into her at some point, and we were supposed to take that as a fact. I guess.
Yeah,
it's been a while since we've done this, so I don't know.
And we got Johnny Thunder. He is trying to find an artifact that would help them find Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, he finally escaped. They show him finally gone from the nursery home he was in, or what? Yeah, he escapes out the window, and he just left his favorite movie playing. So I guess people thought he was still in his room, but then it was locked. And eventually, when they were trying to feed him, they broke through the door.
Yeah,
and they realized that he's not there anymore, and he's going to Pittsburgh because he's trying to find some. He says he's trying to find something that'll help him find his friends.
Yeah, I relate to that way too much. People will hear sounds of my TV running, and people think I'm okay. But nope, I'm actually asleep, or not even there. It's like Ferris Bueller, right?
Yeah. Huh?
Okay, maybe he's seen the movie. Oh, and we finally get a really good crossover.
Yeah.
Ozymandias
and Batman.
Batman.
Yeah, Batman. Ozymandias, after escaping from the hospital, he finds way back to the owl ship, and when he steps inside, Batman is waiting for him, sitting in a chair like some supervillain from a spy movie.
Yeah, he's even in the rotating chair. Yep. He probably did that turn that supervillains do.
I've been expecting you. Except for he says, I read all about you, but that's close enough.
Right?
Yeah. So then after that, it cuts away to all the dead people in the bar where
the comedian.
Well, the comedian's there. He's investigating what's going on because I'm forgetting her Marionette and her husband killed all those Joker thugs there because of how they were wearing makeup, if you guys remember, from a previous review and discussion. But the comedian is investigating those dead bodies when the cops burst in, and I love this scene because the cops threaten him, and he's like, look, I'm going to tell you right away that I didn't cause this. I'm, investigating, finding out who did cause this, and trying to find them. But either you try to stop me and I'll kill you and hurt you, or you just let me go and pretend that you never saw me here. And, he just walks away like a badass after saying that.
Okay, you know what I just realized? So the comedian is tracking down the mime and Marionette who's trying to find the Joker. So you know what I would call that? Funny business. But yeah, the mime and Marionette, they keep murdering people trying to draw at the Joker. And they find out that the Joker is probably going to be where the bat signal is at.
Yep, because if you been keeping up with the book, we find out that there's actually been a bunch of protests for Batman and other heroes and metahumans, and so the Joker's going to contribute to the chaos by doing something with that bat signal, since people seem to want it to go away.
So after that, we get interactions with Batman and Vite, even more of them.
Yeah,
and I like their interactions because Ozymandias is calling out Batman for basically arresting criminals. They escape, he captures them, and then he arrests them again.
Yeah.
And it's just a cycle.
Yeah,
a
exactly.
revolving door.
Yeah, he kind of serves as like readers in this case.
Yeah.
Like, because, you know, obviously we love comics, but every reader has wondered, like, why haven't they done anything more? Because obviously these villains, they stop them, they put them away, and then another villain comes out, and they stop that villain. It's just an endless cycle of them putting them in prison, and then escaping and killing people. So, you know, why don't they do anything else?
It's, you know, it's about time that Batman was called out for that.
Yeah, and then Viet also takes this chance to brag about all the things he's done in his world, like ending hunger and stuff.
It's so cool.
Yeah. At the same time, we're also getting some, you know, some news clips. Yeah, where in Russia, you know, Hawk and Dove had caused some big commotion, so now Russia is closing off its borders to foreigners and metahumans, and you know, they have their own kind of league of metahumans.
The People's League.
Yep.
Of their own Russian metahumans.
To basically stop all of the American-made metahumans.
Yep.
So yeah, that's kind of going on right now. Also, we even get a clip of Black Adam saving, I believe Jack Ryder. Yeah. So if you guys remember Jack Ryder from the Batman mythos, he's a news reporter and whatnot. But he's saving him in Syria, I believe, and by doing so, he is, what do you call it? He's doing something controversial because he had agreed to not act outside of his own country, but he's doing that here to save this guy's life. But he also takes a chance to later on to tell metahumans that if any of them are being persecuted, that they're welcome in his country.
To Kondak. Yep. And it's a safe haven for metahumans.
Yeah. Yeah. We also get, after all of this, you know, political talk, we also get Lois Lane visiting Lex Luthor, who's also in the hospital after being attacked. If you guys remember, he was shot. He's alive though, so you know, he's fine on that front. But he reveals some pretty big details.
Shocking news.
Yeah.
He tells Lois that the person behind all these metahumans was a member of the Justice League.
Yep. He says he's not the one who started the Superman theory, but he knows a lot about it. He explains what he knows, and one of those things, like Rance said, was that he knows that he thinks that the person who started the metahuman, or who created all these metahumans, is part of the Justice League, and that when he says that, the panel shows a picture of Superman floating above something and looking at something. He looks kind of angry, so and I guess they're implying that Superman caused this, but I honestly don't see how.
Yeah, because he says at some point in time they were a member.
Yeah, and Superman's always been a member. Like the only time I remember him not being a member was maybe after Forever Evil, when Lex Luthor joined, but I doubt any of that New 52 stuff actually matters here. Okay,
what if the person behind this turned out to be King Arthur? Or Vigilante, you know, the cowboy character.
Yeah.
Just some random, like, Z-list Justice League member
if this was Tom King writing this book, then I'd be like, yeah, that's totally possible, because he tends to bring out all these, like, really not well-known characters and then bring them into the spotlight.
Dude, that would be kind of insane, though, if it turned out to be, like... You know what? That's probably likely. I don't know. I feel like it could happen.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think it might be Dr. Manhattan. You know, maybe Lex Luthor thinks it has to be some other metahuman. He doesn't know about Dr. Manhattan, though.
Okay.
So, you know, maybe he thinks this person was somebody from the Justice League, but it could turn out to be Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, because there's so many members. How can you keep track?
Yep.
It's like there's a Facebook group of all the Justice League members.
2,000 members.
Anyway, we get more of Johnny Thunder.
Yeah, he finally gets to that, like, metal plant that he was looking for in Pittsburgh.
And he gets attacked by a bunch of junkies.
Yeah, who are trying to take whatever he has, and he's telling them that he doesn't have anything, that he's searching for something, and he's running away from this. And as we see this, it cuts back to
the Owl ship.
Yep, with Batman and Viet, and they're flying over all these like buildings, crashing and stuff. There's protesters everywhere, and Viet starts turning the ship around, and in doing so, he makes Batman fall out of the Owl ship and into the angry mob. Yeah.
If I were the angry mob, I'd be so scared. Because Batman could beat up every single one of those people.
But he tries to escape. He just uses his grappling hook to try to get away. But they pull on his cape because, these protesters are angry with Batman. They're done with him.
Like what Edna Mote said, no cape. He should have taken her advice.
Guess they don't have the Incredibles in the DCU. But he gets pulled into the crowd and, starts getting beat up pretty badly.
Well, back to Johnny Thunder. He found the artifact, and what is it?
It turns out to be Alan Scott's Green Lantern. Yeah. I'm not sure what Alan Scott what his importance is in this story, but, it's cool that we're getting him to come back.
And apparently the Lantern is going to help them find Manhattan.
Yeah, it seems like, it's going to guide them some way. Well, he does find the Lantern, but then he starts, the junkies take it away from him and they start beating him with it. But that's when Rorschach and Saturn Girl show up and save Johnny Thunder.
Yep.
Yeah, and I really like this final image where it shows the Lantern and there's a moth flying in front of it because it reminds you of, Mothman from the previous issues. So I thought that was really cool. But at the same time as this is going on, we see that where all the protests are, we see that Mime and Marionette made their way there and they, toppled over the bat signal.
Yep.
And, they finally find the Joker. The Joker shows up. And as a quick aside, I do not like how the Joker is illustrated here. He just, reminds me of somebody who wears exclusively Hot Topic clothes. But, but I mean, it's not horrible, but it's definitely not my favorite Joker illustration. But he shows up, and so, I was kind of hoping we would get more Mime and Marionette versus the Joker in this issue, but it looks like they're saving that for the next one.
Yeah, it's more setup.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Batman's taken down, he's being handed to the Joker, and that's how the issue ends.
Yeah. So, what would you give your final rating for this issue?
There was a lot going on in this issue. It took me like a couple of reads just to fully absorb everything. And it doesn't feel like there has been much development in this one.
Yeah, it feels like more and more setup. Like, things are progressing a little slower than I would like, but then again, this is a 12-issue series, so I guess that's okay. But we're almost halfway there, so hopefully next issue, we get some really, really big things.
Yeah, it'll ramp up, so then I'll give this issue a 7.5 out of 10 Batman beatings.
I'm going to give it a slightly higher score. I'm going to give it an 8.5 Batman beatings out of 10.
Nice.
Because, I'd say it's not my favorite issue, but I still enjoyed reading it.
Yeah, and it's necessary. You need to set these up.
Yeah. Besides the Joker, it's still great art, and I really like the interaction between Batman and Viet, although I really hope we get even more interactions.
Yeah, I want more of that.
Especially with Superman. I want to see Superman come face to face with these guys, because they're going to be terrified of Superman when they see what he can do. Yeah.
And that's our review / recap of the issue.
Now it's time for this week's Comics Haul. First up, we have The Man of Steel number 5, written by Brian Michael Bendis with art by Adam Hughes. Beaten by Rogolzar, his city burning at the hands of an unknown arsonist, and the secret of what happened to Lois and John drawing closer to revelation, even Superman feels powerless against all that stands before him. Next up, we have Batman Prelude to the Wedding, Harley Quinn vs. the Joker number 1, written by Tim Seeley with art by Sammy Basri. Harley Quinn knows a thing or two about dysfunctional relationships. When she hears that her old flame is trying to get in the way of a happy new life for one of her best friends, the Maid of Mischief tracks the Joker down to give him a piece of her mind. Finally, we have The Flash number 49, written by Joshua Williamson with art by Howard Porter. There's only one thing that can put Wally West's life back together. As he races to the present, he has one goal: break the Speed Force. Can the Flash stop his former sidekick before it's too late? Well, that's all we have for you today, guys, but be sure to subscribe and maybe check out more videos on the channel. I'll catch you here next time at the Nerdcore.